Hello there, welcome to CoreTV News at 4. I am Gift Ogete. The President of Nigeria, Muhammad Buhari, arrives in the United States of America with some state governors and other dignitaries. He begins his first round of discussion today. In the same vein, the United States has promised to help Nigeria track down billions of dollars in stolen assets and increase U.S. military assistance to fight Islamic militants. The visit to Washington by President Muhammadu Buhari is viewed by the U.S. administration as a chance to set the seal on improving ties since he won the March election, hailed as Nigeria's first democratic power transition in decades. U.S. cooperation with Buhari's predecessor, Goodluck Jonathan, had virtually ground to a halt over issues including his refusal to investigate corruption and human rights abuses by the Nigerian military. President Barack Obama has long seen Nigeria as arguably the most important strategic country in sub-Saharan Africa. Project for Human Development, a civil society organization, on Sunday urged President Muhammadu Buhari not to listen to the U.S. government on issues of gay rights so as to protect the laws and values of Nigeria. The call was made at the rally in Lagos against the backdrop of Buhari's visit to the U.S. today. Buhari today is in Washington, D.C. on a 4-day official visit, during which he will hold talks with President Barack Obama and other senior officials of the United States government. Director General of PhD, Mr. Jerry Okwuosa, said the rally was to hint Buhari on the fears by Nigerians that Obama might ask him to decriminalize the same-sex prohibition law of Nigeria. According to him, this is a way for the U.S. to promote gay rights, which is a part of America's foreign policy. He, however, urged President Buhari to reject such a trade-off. The protesters, numbering about 50 and including lawyers and youth leaders of both sexes, paraded from the Tafawa Balewa Square through Lagos City Hall to the Muson Center. A retired Deputy Inspector General of Police, Adebayo Adeoye, has called for the immediate restoration of the Department of State Services personnel to the Aso Villa to provide close bodyguard protection for President Muhammadu Buhari. The former DIG noted that the use of soldiers as presidential guards could expose Buhari to danger and jeopardize his life. Buhari had on Friday recounted his experience at the Eid praying ground, where he was almost mobbed by youths who were anxious to see him, adding that the man with a knife could have attacked him during the tense moment, where he managed to escape from the crowd. Adeoye, in a telephone interview on Sunday, stated that the incident at the Eid praying ground showed that the soldiers guarding him did not have the requisite experience and skills to protect him. Adeoye observed that Buhari had to board his official car through the rear left passenger side, where the aide-de-camp sits, to escape the mob. The retired police chief said the soldiers guarding the president exposed him to danger by their poor crowd control skills, adding that the DSS operatives would have better protected him because they were trained for such scenarios. But the former FCT Commissioner of Police, Lawrence Alobi, stated that soldiers in Mufti could be used as part of the outer layer of presidential security, while the DSS should rather be used for intelligence gathering. He disagreed with Adeoye's stance that the DSS operators were trained in crowd control, noting that it was only policemen that had such training. Former Governor of Anambra State, Chris Ngige, on Sunday said the change Nigerians expect has fully taken root, and to fully take root, each of us needs to play his or her part in supporting Buhari to deliver on his campaign promises. Ngige said this in a solemn message to Muslim faithfuls as part of the Eid al-Fitr celebrations. He said the Eid al-Fitr celebrations provide a unique opportunity for sober reflections and spiritual rejuvenation, which Nigerians must take full advantage of. While congratulating our Muslim brothers and sisters for the successful completion of the mandatory month-long fasting period, he urged that we all imbibe the lessons of selflessness, dedication to the service of God and humanity, as well as sacrifice, which the holy month teaches. He stresses that the change we all hoped and prayed for is here. The former governor explained that all Nigerians must now be prepared to play their individual and collective roles to ensure that words translate into action for Nigeria to attain its full potential. A former Vice President, Dr. Alex Ekweme, has asked Nigerians not to rush President Muhammad Buhari into taking hasty decisions on national issues. He stated this on Sunday at St. Patrick's Catholic Church in Anwacha local government area of Anambra State during the Thanksgiving service of former national chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, Chief Victor Ume. The ex-vice president said every leader has his own style. The most important thing is to get the right results, ensure peace, stability and unity of the country. He, however, noted that the appointments so far made by the president did not quite meet the federal character requirements as envisaged by the constitution of the country. He said the constitution of the country requires that the president observe federal character in appointments, considering the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria. Labour Party has distanced itself from the recent statement by its National Secretary Olukayode Ajulo, calling on President Muhammad Buhari to set up an inclusive government. The party described Alujo's comment as personal opinion. National Chairman of LP Abdul Qadir Abdul Salam, in a statement on Sunday in Abuja, said the party had no reason to join an inclusive government of the ruling All Progressives Congress. According to him, the party has not met to take such position, calling on the president to set up an inclusive government. Abdul Salam ordered that as a marketable political party, Labour Party would rather remain a leading opposition party than calling on Buhari to set up an inclusive government. Retired Military General Brigadier General Ayodele Ojo has accused the People's Democratic Party of trying to cause instability in the country for President Muhammad Buhari's led government. Ojo, in an interview with newsmen, said the action of the PDP senators to allow Ike Ekwemadu emerge as the Deputy Senate President in a chamber controlled by the All Progressives Congress was aimed at destabilizing or ambushing the new administration. The retired general, who was a director in the defense headquarters, also criticized the National Assembly for being the weakest link in the nation's democracy. He stated that Nigerian lawmakers need to exhibit democratic traits as exhibited by the United States Congress, after which the Nigerian legislative system was fashioned. On the president's delay in appointing ministers, the retired general argued that a serious government with a mission for change could not afford to hastily form its cabinet. According to him, the president must resist any attempt to be stampeded by the PDP and other opposition elements into appointing ministers. The All Progressives Congress has called on former President Goodluck Jonathan to apologize to Nigerians for the kind of bad governance and leadership it administered on the country during the 6 years he spent in office. The party has also called on the People's Democratic Party to eat the humble pie and apologize to the people for the way it mismanaged the country for the 16 years it ruled the country, saying the apologies would be the most honorable thing to do. A statement on Sunday by the published Secretary of APC in Ondo State, Omoba Adesonya, noted that instead of making excuses, the PDP should be remorseful and apologetic for plunging the country into mess it found itself. The statement ordered that the process of rescuing the country from the level the PDP government left it might take time and that there would be need for patience. Meanwhile, the published Secretary of the PDP in Ondo State, Banji Okunomo, in an interview with newsmen on Sunday, urged the APC to stop acting like an opposition party, saying it should rather focus on how to deliver on the promises it made to Nigerians. The umbrella body of Ijaw Youths, the Ijaw Youth Council Worldwide, has berated former President Olusegun Obasanjo over alleged uncomplimentary comments on the immediate past President, Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. Obasanjo had allegedly said while delivering a convocation lecture at Benson Idahosa University, Benin, Edo State, that the perceived failure of Jonathan in office would haunt the people of South-South Zone for a long time. The IYC took exception to the comment, saying that the statement was reckless, baseless, and a deliberate effort by Obasanjo to dent former President Jonathan's towering image in the international community. The group stated that if there was any reason or any region that ought to be hunted by the performance of ex-Nigerian president, it is the Southwest region, as former President Obasanjo's performance in office was abysmal. The Accountant General of the Federation, Hamid Idris, has vowed that the nation's treasury under his watch would be prudently and transparently managed. Idris stated this when members of the Civil Society of Nigeria, an umbrella body representing over 25 civil societies in Nigeria, visited him at the Treasury House to congratulate him on his appointment as the new AGF. He urged civil society organizations in the country to collaborate with the administration of President Buhari in its resolve to fight corruption at all levels of governance by reporting any individual or organization engaged in corrupt practices. A statement from the AGF office on Sunday quoted Idris to have said that the civil societies they should act as whistleblowers by reporting all forms of corrupt practices witnessed in the system. This, he noted, should be done objectively without fear or favor. The AGF gave the assurance that the nation's treasury under his watch will be prudently and transparently managed to ensure that the change promised by Buhari is positively reflected in the lives of Nigerians. Earlier, the president of the group, Femi Osabinu, pledged the support of the association in ensuring that the nation's finances are efficiently managed. The Department for State Services has accused former National Security Advisor Colonel Sambo Dasuki, retired, of felony, corruption, and misuse of power and possession of destructive weapons. The DSS said it recovered 7 high-caliber rifles, high assault weapons, several magazines, military-related gears, and 12 new vehicles, which included 5 bulletproof cars from Dasuki's home. The State Service said the items recovered from the former NSA were capable of disrupting the peace of any city in Nigeria. In a statement signed by an official of the DSS, Tony Okwiyo, the intelligence agency said ex-NSA was not forthcoming with the truth in his account of what transpired in his house. The DSS had invaded the residence of the former NSA on Thursday and put him under movement restriction till Friday evening. It was gathered that operatives refused him access to his family members during the raid and the period of his restriction. The DSS, in the statement justifying its action, said it had credible intelligence linking Dasuki with alleged plans to commit treasonable felony against the Nigerian state. The DSS also further accused Dasuki of using military guards despite his removal as DSA. It's CoreTV News at 4. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
As news breaks, people don't let events pass without giving their comment or reactions.
When the problem arises in society, these are the people that should be consulted.
To cleanse the corruption in society, we are not to provide information for good life and also security of life and property in this country.
The academic society have the loudest voice on this platform.
Whether you call it a sovereign national conference or a national conference, it's about the people of Nigeria.
There should be a change in power.
In any way they can do it.
I think there's a script already.
Every Tuesday at 8:45 p.m. on this station. From the Ivory Tower, a must-watch for the learning minds.
Welcome back. Now for more information on CoreTV News, you can reach us on the social media platforms on Facebook, facebook.com/CoreTV News. On Twitter at CoreTV News NG. And on YouTube at youtube.com/CoreTV, /Space News. Continue with the rest of our stories. The peace talks to end the leadership crisis in the Senate appears to have collapsed following the decision of the Unity Forum to challenge the June 9 election of Bukola Saraki as Senate President and Chief E.K. Ekwemadu as Deputy Senate President in court. Some members of the forum are praying a court in Abuja to nullify the elections of Saraki and Ekwemadu. But the landmines back in Saraki have convened in Abuja to assess the situation and launch counter-legal attacks. Members of the Unity Forum are said to be angry at what they see as the hardline position of the Saraki group against the directive of the APC leadership on sharing of principal positions in the chamber. Their decision to go to court is hinged on alleged lack of quorum in the chamber on June 9, when Saraki and Ekwemadu were elected, and the use of alleged forged 2015 Senate standing orders amended to conduct the election. The APC Governors Forum Committee on the Crisis in the Senate has been coordinated by Governors Atiku Bagudu and Adams Oshomale. The governors are expected to meet Saraki and Lawan after the Eid al-Fitr break. Senators who served in the 7th Senate have disowned the 2015 edition of the Senate Standing Orders as amended. The senators, who are from different political parties, said they were not aware of any amendments to the 2011 Senate Standing Orders, acting on a petition by Senator Sulaiman Onkui, All Progressives Congress, Kaduna State. The police had on July 6 squeezed the Deputy Senate President, Senator Ike Ekweremadu, and the Clerk of the National Assembly, Mr. Salisu Maikasua, over an alleged forgery of the standing orders. The alleged forged orders were said to have been used in the election of Ekweremadu and the Senate President, Senator Bukola Saraki. It was exclusively reported on Thursday that the police said that they would release the report on their investigation into the alleged forgery this week. The petition alleged that some parts of the 2015 Senate orders were different from the one ratified by the 6th Senate in 2010, which was used by the 7th Senate as standing orders in 2011. People's Democratic Party in Ekiti State has accused the All Progressives Congress of writing President Muhammad Buhari in a bid to stop refund of money spent on federal projects by the state. The state publicity secretary of PDP, Jackson Adebayo, raised the allegation in a statement made available to journalists in Ado-Ekiti on Sunday. He claimed the APC leaders decided to write the president in order to cover up their early allegations that the state governor, Ayodele Fayose, had collected 22 billion naira as a refund for the federal roads projects executed by the state. According to him, a member of the State Executive Committee of the APC confirmed that the letter was written after the party leaders learned the amount the federal government was owing the state. With the renewed attacks by the insurgent group Boko Haram catching many Nigerians by surprise, and with calls for a more proactive approach by the military growing, Chief of Army Staff Yusuf Burantai has reiterated the Army's commitment to fighting the insurgents. The Army Chief, who was speaking in Damaturu, the Yobe State capital, on a visit to troops on the front line of the fight, says is spiritually and mentally rejuvenated to face the criminals disturbing the peace of the nation.
The essence of as a layman, right?
Where is the package coming in?
The benefit of the fasting. One is the spiritual rejuvenation, and physically also you are rejuvenated, and indeed mentally. So at the end of the fasting, you agree with me that myself personally, I'm physically, mentally and spiritually rejuvenated to face these criminals that are bent on disturbing the peace of this country.
The Acting Director, Army Public Relations, Sani Osman, says the troops of the Nigerian Army have detonated landmines planted by Boko Haram insurgents along the Maiduguri-Buyi road. Osman said the road is now safe for usage as adequate security has been provided to ensure the safety of commuters. Osman, whose comments were contained in an electronic mail on Sunday, said landmines were removed by the Special Forces Explosive Ordnance Devices Unit in collaboration with the police and the vigilance group. He said the team of security operatives successfully detonated 4 improvised explosive devices planted by the insurgents during the operation. The Octane Army spokesman also advised the members of the public to be vigilant and security conscious and report suspicious movements to security operatives. The insurgents had reportedly taken over a portion of the Maiduguri-Buyi road on Monday. Wife of Lagos State Governor Bolanle Ambode on Sunday called on mothers to raise and nurture their children with the fear of God, irrespective of gender. She made the call when she visited a set of triplets delivered by Mrs. Abe Augustine and a set of twins by Mrs. Nasiru Onibon, both at the Ekpe General Hospital. Ambode, who was accompanied by the wife of the Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Fausat Obasa, said the upbringing of a child goes a long way to determine his or her future, reminding mothers of their key role in shaping the future of their children. Medical Director of the hospital, Dr. Mustafa Bamidele, who received Mrs. Ambode and her entourage, expressed joy at the visit, saying such was quite unusual. He expressed appreciation on behalf of the management and staff of the hospital for the visit and presentation of gifts to the newly born, expressing optimism that the hospital will witness such visits in future. It's CoreTV News at 4. We'll take a break. Stay with us.
That's a sign of protest, saying that things are not good.
Women share the most amazing thoughts.
When it's close to the time, our people will protest naked
On national issues.
That was on their own point.
That was an accident. That is different.
And they do it
Politics is about being a servant.
passionately.
Without a woman, there will be no success at all.
Sharing the adorable word of women
There are some women who have what it takes.
in politics.
Margaret Thatcher, Iron Lady. When she's too soft, she's too soft.
Only on CoreTV News.
Welcome back. 2 people have been injured in multiple car explosions in northern Gaza City, Palestinian security sources said. The sources said 6 explosions took place at the same time on Sunday morning in the Sheikh Radwan neighborhood. The cars belong to officials of Islamic Jihad, Hamas, and its armed wing, the Qassam brigades. There was no immediate claim of responsibility for the attacks, but an Al Jazeera correspondent in Gaza noted that Sheikh Radwan witnessed fighting between Hamas security forces and fighters loyal to the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant ISIL group in early June. Nigeria's Consul General in South Africa, Uche Ajulu-Okeke, said on Sunday that the Central Bank of Nigeria has approved a center to conduct biometric verification for Nigerians in South Africa. Ajulu-Okeke said that the CBN was worried about the number of Nigerians abroad not captured in the bank verification number BVN exercise. She said the bank approved that the center located in Johannesburg should carry out the exercise to enable Nigerians in South Africa with accounts at home be captured for the BVN. The Consul General also said that the consulate, with the approval of the Nigerian Immigration Service, had set up a new passport and visa processing center in South Africa. According to her, the center was in the same building with the one approved by the Central Bank to carry out biometric verification for BVN. And that's CoreTV News at 4. Thank you so much for staying on with us. Please join us again. I am Gift Okete. Good evening.